if we can convince you to start with the premise that you are vibrational and that energy is abundant and available to you, and that it's only your mindset that allows the flow or doesn't, and that a feeling of overwhelmment is because there is a pinching off and a not allowing of the energy to flow. So if you start there, the processes that we offered, like the placemat process, when you've got too much to do, simply say, I don't have to do all of this today. Everything that's on my plate does not require my attention today. And my telling myself that it all has to be done right now or there will be big trouble is just self-inflicted and unnecessary personal abuse. I don't have to do that to myself, because the truth of it is all of this does not rise to the same level of importance, and all of it does not need to be tended to by me today. Some of it will work itself out. Some of it needs to be tended to by me today. Some of it is more urgent than others. I have the ability to prioritize, and in prioritizing, I'm going to take these things that I need to tend to and these other things that don't need to be tended to. Right now, right here, this red hot minute by me, I'm going to set aside for some future involvement with something. But right now, this is where my focus is. And immediately, as you pull those things that matter the most, you feel better, because this is not overwhelming. This is not unmanageable. This is not undoable. This is absolutely possible. Not only is it possible, it's interesting. Not only is it interesting, it feels good when it flows. Not only does it feel good when it flows, but now that I have taken the burden of the world off my shoulders and set it over there to be tended to later, and I've focused upon the only thing that I need to do right now, now I'm being infused with some clarity and some energy and some ideas, and now I'm tending to it in a more efficient way than I have. Now what's next? What's next? Hey, I'm at the end of my list. How now would I like to fill my time? You see, humans, you keep thinking that you've got all these things that you have to do, which deprive you of having the time to do the things that you really want to do. And that really is a flawed premise. That isn't true at all, because you know how you got all of those things on your list that you think you need to do? By sifting through contrast and putting them in the vortex. When you are tuned into this powerful energy, you never have the feeling that you have too much to do. You are empowered by the flow of it. If you could see yourselves as conduits or vessels through which this energy is flowing, and see the energy as flowing rather than getting balled up, that's what the feeling of overwhelmment is. It's energy that you've summoned that you're not allowing to flow. Because you say things like, I have too much to do. I don't have enough resources to do it. Somebody else has done something inappropriate and has made my list too long. Somebody's not been taking care of business. In other words, there's always negative emotion attached to the thought that is the slowing of the energy. Isn't it interesting that everything that you bring up, no matter what it is, we tell you it's all about the same thing. It's all about the same thing. It's that you ask for energy and therefore summoned it, but you're thinking a thought on a pretty regular basis that isn't letting the energy that you've summoned flow. And then you give thousands upon millions upon billions of excuses that seem to explain your unhappiness when there's really only one viable answer. I summoned energy and then I blocked it. So we think, for the next 10 years, everyone who came into the seminar, who came to the chair, who said, Abraham, blah, 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 blah. If we would say, we love you very much, but you've summoned energy that you're blocking. Next. Abraham, blah, 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 blah. And we would say, you've summoned energy that you're blocking. Abraham, blah, blah, we only have 15 more minutes. Blah, 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 blah. You've summoned energy that you're blocking. And after a while, someone would say, how do I know that I've summoned energy that I'm blocking? And we would say, blah, blah, blah. No, we would say, because you feel negative emotion. Because if you hadn't summoned energy that you're blocking, you wouldn't feel any negative emotion. Well, how would I know that I've summoned energy that I'm not blocking? Well, you'd feel positive emotion. Is there anything else that you want to tell me, Abraham? No. That's it. That's the whole thing. Life causes you to summon, and if you don't block it, you'll have fun. Seems like there should be more. We know it seems like it, but there isn't. You can apply it endlessly. You can apply it to relationships. You can apply it to money. You can apply it to real estate. You can apply it to genius. You can apply it to everything, but that's all there is. You've been listening to us talking all day about the balancing of energy.
Yes.
And it's easy to understand in and out, in and out, in and out. In other words, focusing on something which attracts the energy to flow toward it. Mm-hmm. So the thing that hinders most people is a shortage awareness. And it's usually shortage of time, shortage of money, shortage of knowledge, shortage of something that I want, something that I believe I need before I can feel better. So a conversation like we've had all day here today will go a long way in soothing that shortage consciousness, because you come to understand as you integrate what you've been hearing here that there's a steady stream that's flowing to you, a stream of abundance, a stream of clarity, a stream of helpfulness, a stream of good ideas. In other words, there's no ending of that stream flowing. You've just got to figure out how to stop the stifling or stop the hindering of the stream. So that's why we offer processes like the placemat process. It's why we offer the most recent process that we've offered, which actually is integrated into every other process that we've ever offered, is the process of going general. And it just means backing up from my attention to whatever it is that's stifling the flow. Can you think of any valid or justified shortage? In light of what we've been talking about today and the way you're feeling as a result of the conversation that you've been participating in, we're talking to all of you. Doesn't shortage right now seem like something that maybe used to matter but doesn't now apply? When you accept this stream and your ability to tune into it, isn't shortage a flawed premise? Isn't it a misunderstanding? Isn't it a self-deprivation? Isn't it something that I could do something about right here and now? So when you have so many things on your plate, meaning so much to do and only so many hours to do it, then what's the remedy? Well, the remedy is to take some things off your plate. But you can't do that because you've already parlayed your life up to that. So another remedy would be to get more to help you. Well, that's not really the answer either, because they can't come until your vibration gets into the place of alignment that allows the right ones to come. So what is a viable answer if you've got too much on your plate? Too much on my plate. What are you reaching for in order to bring it into balance? You want more leverage. You want more clarity. You want more agility. You want more resources. You want more assistance. You want more help. And where do you get that? That's the question that we must put at the basis of this. Where do I get the help that's going to help me deal with the too much that I've got on my plate? Where do I get it? And we say, well, it's going to come in lots of places, and it's going to come through lots of people, and it's going to come with lots of ideas, but it's going to come from that flow. We haven't talked about this here today, but this is the place for us to talk about it. So life causes you to put into your vortex all of the things that you want. And then they start flowing and you get too much on your plate because you want them before you're up to speed with them. We had a sort of conversation about that with our friend earlier about that. When your desire is really, really strong, you'll summon stuff. But when your desire is strong and you're not in alignment with that desire, the stuff you summon is a bumpy ride. So you really don't want to fill your plate up when you're out of balance. But what do you do when you've already got a plate that's filled up that's out of balance? What do you do when your pool already has algae in it? Do you just roll up and die? Do you just withdraw from life experience? Or do you move forward towards some solution? We have enjoyed this interaction a lot. It has been a leading edge conversation where a lot of you have come into a new place of understanding. You feel like you've got something that you can go home with and apply? So if we were standing in your physical shoes, the things that we would have gotten that we feel that we could go home and apply are these. I can control the way I feel regardless of what's going on, and I seek to do that because the way I feel is everything. My emotions let me know my relationship with everything that I want. And when I control my emotion, I control my relationship with everything that I want. There is no other factor that exists anywhere in my time-space reality or elsewhere that affects the way things come to me or don't. I am singularly responsible and singularly in control of everything that happens in my experience. I have the ability to look at what is in a way that doesn't please me, or I have the ability to look at what is in a way that does please me. Whether I'm focused, past, present, or future, I'm doing it all right now. And my relationship with the opinion of my source on those same subjects is active within me right now and giving me feedback. When I feel exhilaration, I am in complete harmony with the opinion of my source. And the opinion of my source is what? What is the opinion of my source? What is it that source is really reaching for with me? What does source most want relative to me? Source wants me to be the recipient of everything that I've been asking for. And source is so determined that I will have that success that source never strays from an understanding or from a focus upon exactly what I am wanting. So much so that my emotion lets me know when someone has strayed. And every single time it's me. And I know what to do about it now. Go general. The more specific I get, the more I stray. The more general I get, the more I come back into alignment. So I'm going to come into alignment and then I'll stray a little. And then I'll come into alignment and I'll stray a little until I have tuned my frequency to the frequency of source, to the opinion of source, to the knowing of source, to the expectation of source on everything that is important to me. And when I achieve a chronic, consistent expectation that matches the expectation that source holds for me on the subjects that matter to me, now the grid fills in, the grid fills in, the grid fills in, the grid fills in, and people who are watching me are watching in amazement. Who are you? They say. How is it that you barely express your desire for something and someone walks up with you to a very clear-cut path for the receiving of it? And you say, I am the keeper of my promise to the source within me. I said, I'll go forth and sift and sort, and I will carve out lanes of expansion for all of us. And the source within me said, and I will follow the track of your desire, and I will hold to the frequency of that, and I will send a signal that is so bright about that that you can't miss it. Because you will always feel emotion around something that matters to you. The guidance will always be there. Strong emotion indicates it really matters. Strong negative emotion means I'm off the track. Strong positive emotion means I'm on the track. We think your guidance system is perfect, and we think you have been playing it out in a perfect way. We think that the world that is before you is a very bright world. We think the world that is here right now is just exactly right. We think that you are the creator of your own experience, and we think that right now, this very moment, you know that in a more vivid way than you've ever known it before. The second thing that we think that you've gathered from this is that, at least it's what we would have wanted to take away from it if we were standing in your physical shoes. Contrast, every bit of it is a good thing. And when I stand in a place that didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to, or even I thought maybe it should have, that rather than beating up on myself about the incompletion of this desire, instead, I'm going to take this contrast as the exact thing that it is, more information for meaningful expansion, because it means there's something in my vortex that this new contrast is going to help me to sort out. You're the creator of your experience. You are not a regurgitator. You're not a puppet on a string. You are the creator of your experience. Do you get that? And don't you want the information with which to create? And don't you like the support that we all provide once you've carved it out? Don't you really like it that there's someone that says, well, you've forgotten, but you really, really want this. And you've forgotten this, but you really, really want this too. And you might have forgotten about that, but in the third grade, you decided that you really, really wanted that. And you really, really want this, and you want this, and you want this, and you want this, and it's all here. And it all is in harmony with itself. In other words, there's nothing that's in your vortex that's out of character or out